Today, I'm diving into the life of a man who shaped the Renaissance papacy, acted as a patron to great artists, and even had a hand in the early days of the Reformation. On the 11th of March 1513, Giovanni di Lorenzo de' Medici was proclaimed Pope Leo X, a man who would leave a lasting mark on the Catholic Church and European history. Born into the powerful Medici family, Leo was the son of Lorenzo the Magnificent, ruler of Florence and a patron of the arts. From an early age, Giovanni was destined for the church. He was made a cardinal at just 13 years old. By the time he was elected pope in 1513, he held not just religious power, but also political dominance as head of the Papal States and his influential family in Florence. But what kind of pope was Leo X? Well, let's just say he wasn't your typical pious, reform-driven leader. Leo X was a true Renaissance pope. He transformed Rome into a thriving cultural hub, attracting artists, poets and scholars to his court. One of his most famous protégés was Raphael, the great painter and architect. Under Leo's patronage, Raphael worked on St. Peter's Basilica and painted some of his most stunning works. But while Leo X was a lover of beauty and knowledge, his reign was also marked by extravagance. He was notorious for his lavish spending, throwing grand feasts and celebrations that drained the papal treasury. The Vatican under Leo was a place of opulence. He even allegedly joked, "Since God has given us the papacy, let us enjoy it." However, Leo's indulgence in luxury came at a cost, literally. His need for funds led to the infamous sale of indulgences, a practice where people could pay for their sins to be forgiven. This practice sparked outrage, and one man in particular, Martin Luther, took a stand against it. In 1517, Luther published his 95 Theses, challenging the corruption of the church, and the Protestant Reformation was born. At first, Leo didn't take Luther seriously, but as the movement gained traction, he issued a papal bull condemning Luther's teachings. When Luther refused to recant, Leo excommunicated him in 1521. Ironically, that same year, Leo granted Henry VIII the title Defender of the Faith for writing a treatise against Luther. Little did Leo know that Henry himself would later break from the Catholic Church, forming the Church of England. Leo X was a Medici through and through, politically savvy, a great patron of the arts, but also deeply invested in securing his family's power. He practiced nepotism, ensuring Medici influence continued long after his death. His cousin, Giulio di Giuliani de' Medici, later became Pope Clement VII. Despite his political manoeuvring and the controversies of his papacy, Leo X wasn't without his redeeming qualities. He was described by the philosopher David Hume as one of the most illustrious princes that ever sat on the papal throne, and he was known for his generosity and affability. Interestingly, Leo was also unusually tolerant for his time. The Jewish Encyclopedia notes that he was favourable towards the Jewish population of Rome, repealing restrictive laws and even allowing a Hebrew printing press to be established in the city. Leo X's papacy came to an abrupt end in December 1521 when he died of pneumonia. His legacy? A pope who embodied the grandeur and excesses of the Renaissance, yet failed to see the seismic shifts happening in the religious world. His inability to take the Protestant Reformation seriously ultimately contributed to one of the biggest divides in Christian history. So what do you think of Pope Leo X? Was he a visionary Renaissance patron, or did his excesses and lack of foresight cause more harm than good? Do let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And please remember to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell if you love hearing about Tudor history. See you soon. Take care. Bye bye.